think what's interesting is that eminent domain is an issue that makes for strange bedfellows. You know, you have the Institute for Justice, which is a libertarian law firm, sitting next to Norman Siegel, basically agreeing about everything. I'm wondering if you guys could sort of comment on that. And I'm also specifically interested if maybe Daniel and Michael could also comment on, you know, maybe if just your experience with this issue has changed your views at all on other issues. You know, thoughts about government power, confiscation of property. Has it changed your own political views about things, and you know, bleeding over to issues apart from eminent domain?
Yeah, I'd like to answer that real quickly, because even in the last few weeks, it's really become apparent to me that there's kind of almost like a Cold War in this country, you know, left versus right. And you know, if you have left views on something, that then you know, you won't even consider what the right is saying about it because you don't want to cede any ground. It does feel very much like a Cold War. And, you know, I think it's interesting when you were talking, Mindy, I think that was a turning point when you came and talked, because it really made me realize, you know, if you don't know something, you don't know it. And when someone explains it to you and it's so clear, you're like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense, and it kind of changes your opinion. That was an interesting turning point for me, because it really made me think about the, you know, how we try and simplify things so that we can understand them, but sometimes they're much more complex than that. And this is one of those issues it's actually so simple and so complex at the same time politically.
I'm very comfortable agreeing with Norman Siegel.
This morning, George Will came over at 9:30 to spend an hour talking with me, and I would never have thought that would be occurring. But actually, I didn't know much about George Will, and you know, he holds a wide variety of views on things that would probably surprise a lot of people. And I think that it's nice to be unified across the political spectrum on an issue. It doesn't happen often enough. I think it could happen more frequently. And you know, I have enjoyed talking with everyone from left to right, because I think the people agree on this issue, and that's unusual. And I think tonight's, you know, in part an example of that.
Let me cause some controversy. Liberals generally are not good on eminent domain. Liberals see government as an affirmative force to improve human mankind. Liberals, including when I was at the Civil Liberties Union, do not respect property rights as they respect economic rights and social rights. Conservatives, as a stereotypical statement, are distrustful of government and wind up being generally good on this issue, especially if they're libertarian / conservatives. And so it's not unusual to see some of the strange bedfellows here. If you understand that the common ground is the suspect or distrust of government power, whether it's Republicans, Democrats, because the nature of the beast is similar. Maybe some of the ideology differs, and today, even that, you can't even make that argument anymore. Show me a politician who has ideology, and I'd be surprised. So in the context of that, I don't think it's so difficult if the common ground is the distrust for government and the respect for people's rights.
Probably for all of us who've been involved, it's one of those things that leads to surprising moments. I was at a Property Rights Association meeting, and Patty Hagan and her sister were there, and it was there were some moments where it was a little scary. How did I get here? What am I doing here? Am I going to be lynched? But it was just mind-opening, because there's just people I had never met or talked to before, and they had never met anybody like me before either. So it was very good. It's good to have coalitions with surprising people. That is the beauty of coalition, right? That we have common ground, and then from that we get past the shell of certain positions, and we realize what we have in common. And from that, sometimes we even come to have really deep, real friendships and love. So I was really glad Patty and her sister were there, but that was a blast. Remember that?
I want